Image Union. Some of the best short films and tapes on TV. Innovative, straight from the heart work by independent film and video makers in Chicago and around the world.
Hi, I'm Bob. Tonight on Image Union, how about those White Sox?
The White Sox!
White Sox all the way!
This has been a phenomenal year for the Southsiders, and to celebrate, Image Union is taking a look back at the old ballpark, which was torn down 10 years ago. Chicago filmmaker Tom Palazzolo shows us some of the crazy stunts cooked up by the late Bill Veeck that made that park so special. And a special treat. We bring back one of our most popular Image Unions that takes a look at the wrecking of the old park. It was made by 3 Comiskey beer vendors. So grab some peanuts and a cold one and take a trip back to the old ballpark.
There's a lot of room in right center.
Come out to the White Sox for some wholesome entertainment.
They're the best!
Because the American dream, is to play baseball. And everybody wants to play baseball, and the White Sox are part of it.
The
White Sox all the way.
And the White Sox will go forever.
And Harry Carey is part of America.
We'll pick it up at this point. Why don't you tell us what's your inspiration for this project?
Well, actually, I've always been interested in recording Chicago's history, especially the offbeat, unofficial history. As a matter of fact, I kind of consider myself a kind of renegade home movie maker for the city. Basically, though, this piece is about Sox Park and my memories of the park. I went way back. I've been doing this for at least 25, maybe 30 years. I guess longer than I thought. I'm not sure why I like to record these events, but I do think they're an interesting history. They produce a kind of interesting history of the city, a history that you don't see, that you won't hear about or know about unless I record it. Yeah, the first time I went, it reminded me of the park in St. Louis called Sportsman's Park, where I was, when I was a kid, I would go, I was a member of the Knothole Gang, which was a Bill Veeck invention when he owned the Browns. He wanted to get people in the stands. This was like going back to the old park, which had been torn down in St. Louis. The Comiskey Park reminded me, had that old flavor. It was a very old park. This is an opening day at Sox Park somewhere in the mid-'70s. I'd always heard that there were crazy events happening. Fights would break out and things of that nature. And so A friend of mine, Mark Rance, and I went to try and record some of the craziness going on at Sox Park. Sox Park has a reputation for being a little crazier than the north side. Finally, in 1976, I got a chance to actually get down on the field and film one of Bill Veeck's promotional events, thanks to Tony Perez, who worked, I think, in the marketing department there for the Sox. But I'd seen Veeck's events going way back to the 40s when I was growing up in St. Louis. He would have them when he was the owner of the Browns. A perennial last-place team in St. Louis. So this event was a pretty good one, I thought. It was a beer case stacking contest. I was rooting for the Playboy team. Here they are right here. I was rooting for them. The winner, I'm not sure what they won, if anything, but the winner would be the group, the team that could stack the highest, the most amount of beer cases. This event happened basically, I guess it was there to keep people in their seats. It happened between a doubleheader. They only had about 15 or 20 minutes to complete this event, so they were under a little pressure. This was 1976. I know it was 1976 because the players, that was the only year Veeck had the players wearing short Bermuda shorts. Also, I know it was 76 because it was the only year I wore a leisure suit.
are gone. That can't come back again. Our old friends are gone. They can't ever come back again. They tore down the path, and they just can't come back again. You know, it won't happen again now. Our good friends are gone. They can't go back.
To the White Sox for some wholesome entertainment.
For the best!
Because the American dream is to play baseball. And everybody wants to play baseball, and the White Sox are part of that.
The White
Sox all the way.
We love them.
Hey.
We love hams, too. Hams, beer.
And the White Sox
We'll go forever.
And Harry Carey is part of America.
Trying to get hold of one. A ball on a strike. 3-1 in favor of the Yankees. Oh, those 2 runs, the way they scored. But that's baseball.
You're watching Image Union, and tonight we're celebrating the White Sox great season by taking a look back at old Comiskey Park. Up next, one of our most popular films. It's about the wrecking of the old park, and it was made by 3 Comiskey beer vendors. Stick around.
Driving northward on the Ryan in the rain, 4 lanes bound up by us grim operators who may all as well be accountants like me, channeled into the enshrouded skyline that itself seeks to be totaled again and again, feet to the summit, dollars to build, stories to list, like a bar chart against the gray mist. Then as I hit the rise at 37th Street, I see it, the gash in the right field corner plumb down to the warning track. like the saber splitting the loaf on the Moscow stage, the iceberg's wound below the Titanic's waterline, the guillotine to the mistaken, untitled neck, as if the blade stroke that decapitates could decapitalize also into a sweet poverty of memory. Look, you can see into the park from the outside, clear through to the opposite grandstand, the grass growing untended, all too green in this not yet spring. How by a lone crane your hulking privacy is breached, as you always kept your heart unknown to the public glances on the passerby street. You kept everything within, noise and color, stench and anger. Nothing was next door to you, nothing was neighbor. You abided no outside looking in. Not then. To make your date, we had to buy a ticket. We had to pay the price. You only did it with us behind closed gates. And now look at you. You're wide open, old vaudevillian, too old to sue now that they've broadcast your diaries. That first blow was the Negro Corner, their self-chosen back of the bus even after Selma and Rosa Parks. Cooled in the umbra of the upper deck, where I hung as a kid to hear they talk, slang being the thing, grease and spice glued to the tongue with tobacco juice, and the relentless two-syllable mantra I later learned was signifying sweet to no one's mother. In Comiskey II, the only sector of the poor is that queue of day labor scavengers waiting in the windowless shank of the park for the game to end and go to work. Kiss goodbye to the Bard's Room, named for the poet that old Commie quoted to repulse the plaints of the unlearned, and where later the peg-leg lecturer of wonder, who never met a table high enough to put him under, declared, "Lear's greater than Hamlet, but try telling a young man that." And when, like a nightclub in reverse, the maitre d' would darken you the door after a victory if you appeared sincere enough or unmoneyed. There's the last ballpark you could loop-de-loop, draw the inside round, tunnel, orbit the mound. Dig the grand tour of the dirty bazaar, its grottos dark even on midsummer day, immured from the greensward, underworld apart. Come, let's trek this subway like the catacombs through the circle of religions. Jesuits kneeling at the taco stand, Baptists milling by the piss ravines, the Manichaeists calling balls and strikes, Zarathustrans tilting the pinball machines, Catholics lined up for ambrosia and relief, Semites loading kosher dogs with green relish, the Quakers below the bleachers drunk on virtue, Satanists at the lockup swearing we won't hurt you, Buddhists grabbing a quick smoke from the distant cycle of roar and breath, Calvinists purchasing souvenirs for the afterlife. Oh, you had so many shadows. Confessionals of shadows, apses and naves and buttresses of shadows, spots where our muddy organs lurked while our light heads butted with other light heads above. Forget the safety of the bone-white bases. You gave us scores of damp hiding places where, fresh from the rounds of our little murders, we found a purpose for the poles and girders, learned the value of obstructed view. If you couldn't see cops, they couldn't see you. So sip on a half pint, light up some reefer. Grab that girl where your hand won't leave her. Now, the architects of the vault just south made sure to leave the shadows out, all gleaming like new plumbing. So it'll take some time to model that concourse with bogs of grime that slide us crosswise as we exit. To the end of the night, our new route takes us. Today's special, the class sandwich. Check the new order. It's a sandwich of classes, where thems with the cabbage can park their asses. Here, the decks of a vessel are replaced by levels, and dutiful pleasures sweep out our revels. On the cordial slope nearest the plate, the Revisistes now take their seats. Above, the crusaders of the blessed spreadsheet converse in the glassed-in luxury suites, where those most fattened by America's manna talk shop with their backs to the Star-Spangled Banner. In the limited sky and the top crow's nest, more like a crasher than a guest, too removed from the rhythms to have them matter, isolate as the eternal on-deck batter, sit the fair to middling, their humble thumbs twiddling. And where, may you ask, is the lower class? Look no further than the railroad underpass, where hard by the empty delivery trucks, they'll peddle you a shirt that says, Oakland sucks. Too keen for the sale to be politically pissed, still unable to finger their antagonist. Toasted on the bottom, burnt on the top, this bread that began bleached bone white. In the middle, 3 layers of red meat. So tell me, my little stackers of wheat, wouldn't you like to take a bite? Come every September, as the season winds down, you begin to spot them. Usually they sit by themselves in the expanses that appear when the team fades from the race. You notice them because their attention is so acute. They gaze in every direction, their ears are keen, they inhale all the way. To others, they talk very little. They don't want to miss a thing. For them, even this slow game is happening all at once. They are the ones who are dying of cancer or a corroded pump or diseases of the brain. They know they won't last the winter. When next opening day rolls around, they'll reside within that ground the young players lope across. This is their last game.